All right, guys, how's it going? So I have been to the cafe and I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you. I can tell you right now, there's nothing to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid. There's nothing to do with Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Luis Diaz and Barcelona. But there is something to do with Mamardashvili, which we will go over in a moment. It's actually at the very end of my notes, but as it's the main talking point in the video, I'll start with that first to save you having to watch the rest of the other shite. What else was I going to say to you? I will be recording a video about Trent Alexander-Arnold after this, though. But that's something that wasn't in the papers, but it's something that we need to go over. So yeah, I've done all that for you. I was a bit upset when I was at the cafe, to be honest with you, because there was a gentleman on a laptop to the side of me, and it was CCTV, and I worked out, it was from the cafe. And what I didn't notice walking in today was one of the windows had been smashed at the cafe at the entrance, and some tow rag basically had gone in. I think they'd done the fag machine or something like that, and I don't know, I just felt really sorry for the owner. He's a really nice guy, and it's just not very nice. You know what I'm saying? It's life, I guess. It happens everywhere. If you've got a business, you're a target of stuff like that. I think in England, the fag machine wouldn't even be there where it's positioned in it. In Spain, it's very laid back, like all the chairs and furniture still outside all these places. Like in England, I know for a fact they'd be fucking nicked, you know what I mean? So I just felt for him a bit this morning. You could see he was walking around having to deal with things, and there's someone measuring up the glass and all that. So yeah, I just felt for him, So anyway, let's get into this. So Mamardashvili, there was an article in AS, and if you watch my reviews of the Spanish football dailies, I do them every day of the week as a rule. We've been talking about Mamardashvili, obviously, so keeping an eye on him, incoming Liverpool goalkeeper from Valencia. And he hasn't been getting great reviews recently. And yes, Valencia, they've been struggling this season. They were at the foot of the table. They climbed up a bit since the change manager, I think, which was in December. They've been improving. The form's improved, but there's still question marks over Mamardashvili's performances this season. And that's highlighted in the press today here. So I wanted to bring it to your attention, okay? Now, normally, what I was going to do, which I haven't done yesterday, was after his performance, the last game, I was going to look for the goals, and put them online on X at Cop Talk or whatever. And, so we can just take a look at whether he could have done any better, but I didn't get round to that. So in this article today, it says, the headline is Mamardashvili sparks goalkeeping debate. And basically it says, what seemed unthinkable just a few months ago is now unfolding. A debate has emerged over the goalkeeping position at Valencia. Mamardashvili, once dubbed the miracle goalkeeper, has shown a more mortal side of late. Observers have spotted errors in his recent matches that were previously unimaginable from him. Against Sevilla, Valencia dropped 2 points due to a glaring blunder in the final minute. In the clashes against Villarreal with Goye's goal, and against Atletico with Julian's second strike and Correa's effort, he could have done more to keep the ball out. Adding to the situation, Mamardashvili has been sold to Liverpool, meaning he just has 13 games left in a Valencia shirt. Meanwhile, Dimitrievski waits patiently on the sidelines for his chance. The final decision lies with the manager Corberan. So Dimitrievski, Dimitrievski, he's the backup goalkeeper, very highly rated. Almost joined Barcelona, but a deal fell through because they couldn't get rid of a player to make it happen or something. Very, very highly rated, and they're basically what they're saying here is, should he be playing ahead of Mamardashvili because Mamardashvili is not playing very well. Now, this is concerning to some people maybe because he's coming to Liverpool, but you have to remember Valencia. I'm trying to keep it positive, Valencia. They're not playing very well, but then people out here are saying, well, they're not playing very well, but they've improved recently, and if he was playing as good as he can do, maybe that they would be even higher up the table, or do we want to defend him and say, no, all the defenders in front of him are shy? Do you know what I mean? So it's a tricky one, and goalkeepers go through blips or whatever, and what he is at Valencia might not be what he is at Liverpool. There might have been performances of Alisson before he came to Liverpool that people might have said, oh, he's not doing it. I don't know. But my job is to bring it to your attention. So what happens online is when Liverpool are signing a player or a player's coming in, what happens is the so-called content creators and Twitter twats and all that, they'll pick out all the great saves, like what a signing we've got coming in, because they want to big up and make it all exciting and tell you it's the right thing. Do you know what I mean? They did this with fucking Chiesa, when there are a lot of people going, I don't know about that. It was, oh no, he's the greatest thing ever. Look at what he can do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, while that's good, we also have to look at realism as well. Yeah. So if Mamardashvili his form's dropped off, I think it's important that I bring that to your attention. So I will keep monitoring, the Valencia games. I'm in that region, so I hear a lot of chatter about Valencia. But I have been relaying that, saying he's not got great ratings again. Maybe he could have done better on that. But they're now highlighting it in the press, saying, is it time for a change? And remember what they're saying here, what seemed unthinkable, that's how highly rated he is. What seemed unthinkable is now unfolding. A debate has emerged over the goalkeeping position at Valencia. Valencia, once dubbed the miracle goalkeeper, he's now shown a more mortal side of late. Observers have spotted errors that he should have done better. So, just worth bringing that to your attention. Some people will be like, oh, great, that's all we fucking need. I don't know if it's something I'd be too bothered about, but at the same time, it's like, it's just something to ponder, isn't it, guys? Because as we approach the summer, you're going to start thinking about what Liverpool goalkeepers might leave. Paul Joyce did it in the Times, obviously Kelleher, but he still brought up Alisson in that as well. And this is something that I've mentioned in recent weeks where I've said to you, there's so many question marks over various Liverpool players going into the summer. Kelleher, obviously, and, some people even think Alisson might be sold, and people are like, we're on about Dunk. But some people think that. And Joyce said it yesterday in the Times article, so watch my video yesterday. I think it's titled Paul Joyce Surfaces or something like that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to give you on Mamardashvili. There's going to be an article in here about Kubo at Real Sociedad. He's a player that we were linked with quite significantly last summer. Obviously, nothing came of it, but there's an article about him today. I'm going to go over that with you as well. But I'm going to go right back to the beginning of my notes, and I'm going to tell you this. There is, unless you really want to know about Kubo, there's nothing going to be in this video of great importance, I don't think. So I'm going to go over a few things, starting at the beginning of my notes now. So, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, the team that the owner supports at the cafe, the cafe owner. And now I know why he was not very enthusiastic this morning, because I didn't see the broken window when I went in. And I said to him, about Barcelona and Atletico Madrid this evening. He didn't seem his chatty self, so I can understand now, Pokemon. Anyway, today's Spanish newspapers are dominated by coverage of this evening's Copa del Rey semi-final clash between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. The King's Cup, if you don't know, is essentially Spain's, FA Cup, if you like. There's no League Cup here in Spain, so it adds extra prestige and importance to this tournament. The game kicks off at 8:30 UK time this evening, and if you want to watch the game, I'll try and find a stream. If you check out liveonsat.com, which I have no association to that website, it's just what I use, you'll be able to find a list of the satellite channels that it's on, and that applies for Liverpool games, everything, every day. I always check there to see where all the games are, especially if you're using your friend's Fire Stick. Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad is the other semi-final scheduled to be played tomorrow. But Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, they're fighting for La Liga at the moment, so this is going to be some game that like tonight. Sevilla won, Mallorca won. Sevilla drew at home yesterday. Loic Barde, the centre-back that Liverpool have previously shown interest in, I think, in the summer. I think after the transfer window closed, Richard Hughes is reported to have been out there. Maybe not reported, rumoured to have gone out there for some, maybe talks with that club or someone close to that player or something. Definitely a player that's been looked at, I know. Looked at, monitoring, observing, considering are all terms now that the fan base, you met with sarcasm if you use those words. But, let's be honest, guys, some of these words and reports or rumours are true, right? You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand the frustrating. But Bardi is one that Liverpool have been tracking, monitoring, observing or whatever. Centre-back, I think he's 24. I can't remember. We mentioned him yesterday, didn't we? Richard Hughes is reported, was rumoured, to have gone out there. There's a difference between rumoured and reported, I think. And I think it was seen as, if Virgil van Dijk was to leave Liverpool. So you just don't know if that was a bit of like, the club making sure that got out there, to do during contract negotiations. I'm not so sure really. But Loic Bardi is a name that I keep an eye on. But I've got to be honest with you, part of me feels like that's not really like that important for me to do. I think once Trent's future is resolved in the summer, and Mamardashvili comes in, I'll probably, I don't know, stop reviewing the Spanish paper. I enjoy doing it, but I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you still want me to let you know what Iago Aspas is up to every day of the week. Anyway, so Loic Bardi did play in that game last night. He was given a 2 out of 3 star rating by Marca. AS weren't as generous as they only handed him 1 star. Now, AS have an article headlined Kubo, the differential factor of Real Sociedad. This is he's quite a small winger, that plays for Sociedad. Liverpool were linked with him, sniffing around him in the summer. The sub-headline, the Japanese player brings his genius to the Real Sociedad team. It says with Takefusa Kubo, who's 23, things happen that only occur with the best footballers. One can anticipate with some certainty what he will do, but he is still unstoppable. The beautiful goal he scored against Leganes is his trademark, with that inward drive and a shot to the far post. It was a work of art in a match that Real Sociedad resolved with a stunning goal and in which Kubo made sure to showcase his genius. From the first play, he gave the impression of wanting to shine, but always with purpose. To his undeniable street talent, he has an academic vision of football that allows him to understand the game with special intelligence. He rarely overdoes a dribble or indulges in unnecessary flair. Although he didn't start the season in the best way, more timid and erratic than usual. Maybe because his future was, up in the air. Kubo is now in optimal form ahead of what's to come. The Cup, the Europa League, etc. And his legitimate aspiration to continue evolving individually. Real Sociedad needs the most complete version of the Japanese player. It's a team that doesn't have an abundance of goals or individual flair, hence the indispensability of Kubo's productivity in dribbling and creating opportunities. So far, despite that mediocre start, he is achieving it. In this league, he has accumulated 296 dribbles with an average distance covered of 12.8 metres each and has generated 32 goal opportunities. When Kubo shines, Real Sociedad is propelled forward. Now, would he be a good signing for Liverpool, I hear you ask? I did a bit of research with my little AI friend and we came up with this. Strengths supporting a Liverpool move. Attacking creativity. So 32 chances created, 296 dribbles, averaging 12.8 metres, demonstrate his ability to unlock defences and advance play. Qualities, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure, that fit Liverpool's high tempo, attacking style, under Arne Slot, whatever. Technical skill, his beautiful goal against Leganes and genius on the ball suggests he has the flair to thrive in the Premier League, where moments of individual brilliance often decide games. Intelligence. The article praises his academic vision and purposeful play, indicating he could adapt to Liverpool's structured yet dynamic system, which demands smart decision-making. Youth and potential, an important one this, I think, with our owners. At 23, Kubo aligns with Liverpool's strategy of investing in young talents with room to grow, potentially becoming a long-term asset with a future resale value. And form timing. His current optimal form suggests he's peaking, making him an appealing option for a mid-season or summer transfer. Well, obviously the mid-season window's gone, but for a summer transfer. Potential challenges, early season struggles. Obviously his form wasn't great at the beginning of the season. There was inconsistency. The Premier League's relentless pace requires players to perform week in, week out, and Liverpool would need assurance he can avoid such dips. Now, this is important, I think. Physical demands. He's of a slight build, which is common for, technical wingers. But whether that would work in the Premier League, with the physicality and Liverpool's, just the way Liverpool play, and the one thing with Kubo, I've always thought, and yet wingers can be small, these kind of players, he is really small, do you know what I mean? But he's a great player. If you get a chance to ever watch him in action, rather than the highlights that you see on YouTube that can make anyone look good, even me. If you do get a chance to ever see Real Sociedad, I mean, you know, that they've got that Kings Cup game or whatever, it would be good to see. No, Kings Cup, sorry. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm waffling on. It's the fucking dog out there is putting me off, to be honest with you. So yeah, if you do get a chance to see him play, have a look at him, see if you like him. Obviously, Liverpool have got you know, a squad stacked with attacking players. You know, someone would have to leave? Would he come in? What was his value here? This is it here. He's valued at around 40 million euros, and he apparently has a release clause of 60 million euros. Now, it's worth noting that his former club, Real Madrid, retained 50% of his rights from any future sale. So obviously, if someone, you know, shells at 40 million, then Real Madrid's going to get 20 million, right? And that arrangement could influence the financial considerations of potential buyers. Now, one moment, please. So, yeah, Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad, the other game I was talking about there, that you'd expect Kubo to be involved with. That's the one that's being played tomorrow. So, Mendy, Kubo. I'll do my best to watch that game, but I'll keep an eye on it for you guys anyway. But he's one of them players. Every time I've seen him play, well, no, no, that's exaggerating. I've kept an eye on him this season for you, you know, since we were linked with him in the summer, because obviously I'm keeping an eye on Mendy until his future's resolved. But when I have seen him play, there has been times when I'm like, nah, ineffective. So I guess that's kind of backing up the early season things. But, you know, of late, he's a good little player, that Kubo. But I just feel that if any of you know him, that you might agree with me and say he's just a bit on the small side, don't you know what I mean? Okay, so I don't know if that's it, guys. I think that might be it. Let me have a look. I know I get lost in my notes sometimes, but I try and read them in an order that save people hanging around, you know what I mean? Kubo, we've done the Kings Cup games, Mamardashvili. Yeah, that's it. Because my notes end with there was nothing on Trent, Mo, VVD, etc. today. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got for you. I will go and review the papers for you tomorrow morning, all being well. Like I say, you know, I don't know, you know, whether you want me to continue doing these when the futures of, you know, I mean, primarily, I suppose the reason I get the papers is to keep an eye on the Trent stuff more than anything, or that's what we were doing. Obviously, in the summer, I was checking for Mendy because, you know, we don't take what they say here as gospel, but it's good to have both sides, you know, what people are claiming in England. For example, you know, Joyce was saying that Real Madrid offered £20 million for Trent in January, whereas that's totally contradicted here in Spain. So I think it's good to see what everyone's saying, but you'll just have to let me know. You know, I mean, once, you know, if you think about it, once Trent's situation's resolved, once Mendy goes somewhere, Mamardashvili comes into Liverpool anyway, there isn't really going to be anything that we're looking out for on a day-to-day basis here, is there? You know, it's always nice to touch on former players like Aspas, Alonso and people like that, but I'm not sure that we'll have enough interest really, guys. But you'll have to let me know. I don't mind doing them. But if I stop doing the Spanish Dailies review, then I could focus on my newsletter. The link is in the video description. Join them. I sent a very interesting update out the other day. You'll be kicking yourself that you missed that one, trust me. Or maybe I do keep an eye on things on a daily basis so that I have the knowledge if we are linked with any clubs out. I think that's probably a good idea, actually, because a lot of people make a lot of claims about Spanish clubs and Liverpool are linked with such and such. And I think, what are you on about? You know, because they'll say, oh, it's all over the Spanish press. But because I check that daily for you, I can say, but guys, that's not true, right? So I'll work it out anyway later. Right, I'm off. All right, guys, if you appreciate this video, please thumbs up this video. Please drop me a comment if you want to buy me a coffee, which goes a long way in the cafe. Please do hit the super thanks button, the thanks button under the video, and I'll give a shout out in tomorrow morning's morning briefing and let everybody know how much of a hero you are. I'm live on here at 1 o'clock this afternoon today, UK time, if you want to come along for an answer. I won't be doing a live this evening, so it's just this afternoon. My girlfriend's here visiting until the weekend, so there'll be no night streams this week, I don't think. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know about Mamardashvili. I mean, are you concerned? You know, are you like, holy fuck, what are we signing this guy for? But all goalkeepers have dips. What do you think? Is it something that bothers you, or are you just like me, where it's like, anything could happen? He's playing for a struggling side. Maybe he's thinking about Liverpool already. I mean, you could say the same about Trent and Real Madrid. Real Madrid fans now could be saying, "Oh, he doesn't look that great," because maybe his head's thinking about Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's what's on Mamardashvili's mind. Maybe he's thinking, "Oh, not much longer of this shit, and I'm out of here." So for me personally, I don't worry about it. But at the same time, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Trust me. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you in a bit. All right.